everybody. You've tuned in to the Indiana State Police Roadshow, brought to you by the Indiana State Police Alliance and Cops for Kids, a subsidiary of the Indiana State Police Alliance. I'm your host, First Sergeant Rich Myers with the Indiana State Police Public Information Office. And today my guest is Sergeant Todd Harless, Harless, Harless.
It is correct.
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
It's good to have you here again.
It's good to be here again.
The last time we had you in, you'd been on a little hiatus.
Well, if you call Afghanistan hiatus.
You were just cruising around. You weren't doing anything.
Beautiful country. Beautiful country. Beautiful people.
You've been back to vacation. Are you?
I've been back doing this job for about almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
Still in the military?
Still in the military till June.
Okay.
June 4th. I'm punching out.
Well, good for you. Congratulations.
That's right.
How many years is that, Todd?
31 and some change. So retired as a full colonel. And
Congratulations. Well, thank you for your service.
Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate what you did over there and what you do here. And we're kind of going to get into what you're doing here now that you're back and what you've been doing for 3 years now that you're back. But give us a little background on how Todd Harless became military and how Todd Harless became trooper.
Lord have mercy. How I became military, I received a scholarship, an ROTC scholarship right out of high school. So that
high
started
school where
at? Lucas, Ohio. I'm a Buckeye by birth.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I know. And
I'll talk slower.
OHIO. And went to Wentworth Military Academy in Lexington, Missouri. Got my commission. Came back to Defiance College in Defiance, Ohio. Received my bachelor's. And worked at a local steel mill there in Mansfield, Ohio for a while. And then decided to join the Indiana State Police.
Well, good. We're glad you did. And that was how many years ago?
It'll be 25 this November, so 1991 I was officially sworn in.
Started where?
Lowell, Indiana.
Way up north.
Way up north.
Which region? Where were you at? What?
I was in Zone 4. I lived in Valparaiso. Okay. So, I was a Buckeye. I was not married. So, hey, easy.
Go anywhere.
Go to Lowell. Yes.
So how long were you up there?
Approximately 3.5, almost 4 years.
Then went to?
Putnamville.
What brought you down? That's kind of a...
I had great aspirations to start the headquarters route. We had to live within 50 miles of headquarters. So,
right.
And I was familiar because I stayed over here most weekends while I was going to the academy. And so I was familiar with Indianapolis, more so than Lowell at the time. So I kind of liked the rural and the city down here in Indianapolis and surrounding vicinity. So I thought... by that time I was married, so I thought I'd bring the wife and come down and start our future here.
Where did you go to at Putnamville? Which county did you work?
I worked Hendricks County.
Okay. There for how long then?
Oh, man, it was almost 7 years before I went officially active duty.
That's when you got activated to go to Afghanistan. And you was there?
Well, I got activated for Bosnia in 2002. February 2002, left for Bosnia. So we was started training in November of 2001.
And then you were gone for how many years to the military?
Approximately about 10.5 years.
Yeah.
Playing Army.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, he's back now and got a brand new gig since you've been back. Well, 3-year gig.
That's right.
And it's titled Protocol Sergeant.
That is correct.
Something we hadn't had before.
That's right. I am he. I am the one and only...
So if this punches out later on, we'll know that you didn't do a good job, right?
That's right. You know what? I've been making this up for about 3 years now. As I go along, I say, hey, what can I do now? Protocol.
What is something that is needed and is very interesting what you do and how you do it. And it's kind of a lot of behind the scenes that people don't see. So I wanted to get you here and kind of reflect on what it does and which way you turn and how you make this all happen behind the scenes. So how did this get started and what exactly does it entail?
Well, before I came back, I think when the superintendent and Colonel French, the assistant chief of staff, took over, I think they recognized a need for a protocol sergeant for anything to deal with awards, promotions, to stay in memorial services, to stay in touch with survivors, things
Right.
like that. So they came up with this position, sergeant position, and I came back. I was on the road for about a month, and back in Hendricks County, back to my home county there, and this came open, and I applied, and I was picked to be the first protocol sergeant.
Now, is this something military's had for a long time?
Military's had protocol forever because of all the military functions that go on, dinners, awards. Everything has a protocol piece to it.
Okay. So had you been involved with that at all?
After all the years I've been in the military, yes.
Okay.
I've done several military balls, military functions, military promotion ceremonies. So it's been in my blood, I guess, or I've been trained to do it.
So
it comes naturally.
Yeah. So they opened the position. You got it.
Right.
What exactly are you over? What do you have to foresee every day or see coming down the pike as far as the Indiana State Police Protocol Sergeant? Where does that start?
Yes.
We need this done, Todd. We need this done, Todd. We need this done.
Well, superintendent, he cracks the whip, but I do set up the spring awards ceremony, which will be coming up April 15th at 1300 over at the Government Center South Auditorium, and that's where we'll recognize people for life-saving awards, Bronze Star awards, anything meritorious from October of last year until April of this year, or March of April of this year.
So that's a 1-year anniversary award?
Right. I have a spring and fall awards ceremony, so we can knock out 2 awards ceremonies. The spring awards ceremony recognizes Trooper of the Year, Motor Carrier Inspector of the Year. It recognizes your 20 last year's best of the best.
Okay.
As well as any awards that have come down as far as life-saving, meritorious, commendation awards from October of last year. And then the fall awards ceremony just recognizes anything, again, life-saving, meritorious from April to October without the Trooper of the Year, Forensic Scientist of the Year.
Was that something new that this administration started?
As far as 2 a year, I think so.
Okay.
I know they only had 1 a year, and we sat down and we thought, well, it's
going to be quite a few.
It's too long a span.
Yeah.
It's going to be, right, it's going to be quite a few. That first awards ceremony was quite a few, but now we've got it under control where it's fairly simple, and you recognize, we have a awards committee sit down and we recognize who should be getting awards as far as districts and headquarters that put people in for awards.
How does it come about? How do you guys decide this person needs this award? Or how do you guys hear about it? If somebody wanted to nominate somebody for an award, do they go through you, or how does that work?
Right. If anybody can put anybody in for an award. So there's an awards submission form. You can get online, fill
Through
it out.
MyShare?
Yes. It's also on the HR share drive. And you can fill that out, but it's got to be endorsed by your district commander or whoever your chain of command is. And then they send it to me as well as Colonel French. And then I sit down with the awards committee, which is the primary staff, and we take the SOP, the awards SOP, and make sure that what they put this person in for matches up with what. And if we may upgrade it, and we may downgrade it. It's not always they will get what they were put in for.
Right.
But it's been fairly accurate how we've done this.
Is this something that goes on quite often behind the scenes? Do you guys get a lot of applications for that?
It comes and goes. It comes in spurts. So I might get 2 or 3, 4 in a month. I might not receive any in a month. It just depends on weather or situations out there for the. And usually the road trooper is the nominee, deservedly so.
Yeah, they're most active. They're the backbone of the department, getting out there hitting it, and the ones most deserving. So
Exactly.
The promotion ceremonies that you also do that's about every month now, isn't it? Or about every other month?
Right. It depends on human resources. If they see a need for a position opening, they'll publish that position opening, and then through whoever puts in for the position, then we'll have the board will sit down and vote on that after the interviews and everything have taken place, test scores, all that, and then the board will approve that, and then I will set up a promotion ceremony pretty much the week after.
And that's a great event for the family. I mean, that is really something to see where you guys hold it in the Supreme Court with the great chamber that's there, very historic. But it's mainly for the nominee again, or for the promotion person. But the family enjoys that, don't you think?
I think I've got a lot of kudos on. Hey, this is great.
Yeah.
We've never had this before. We've always just it's not been as ceremonial.
Yes.
And
yes.
nice.
Yes.
And so the families appreciate it. The nominees, promotees appreciate it.
Yes.
And the superintendent loves it, of course. So
well, I think they do a great job, and you guys do a great job with that. And then the part that's the kind of the what the superintendent says, that it's the promotional person has to take the family out to eat on their dime.
Oh, exactly. Right. That's
on their dime, right?
That's right, on their dime. That's their reward for coming. Right.
Well, again, you're listening to the Indiana State Police Roadshow, brought to you by the Indiana State Police Alliance. I'm talking with Protocol Sergeant Todd Harless. And Todd, you guys work a lot too with if unfortunately funerals and death notices and the family involved with those. I know you do a lot of Lest We Forgets that you send out on troopers that died in line of duty. What else does a protocol sergeant work with?
Well, you just brought it up. I run the kind of in charge of the honor guard, which I have Master Trooper Aaron Gall assists me, and then I have 3 honor guard team leaders within the state, and then the members are out of that. So the honor guard does a lot of behind-the-scenes work too, as far as retirees, funerals, or like the Deputy Kuntz just passed away.
Yeah.
They did the firing party for that funeral, and also we did some honor guard activities up there for that.
Well, you hit on the retirees, and I know that's another event, or not event, but something that's really, I know, appreciated by the survivors of the retirees. And I recently heard about one where I think the daughter of a retiree, every time they post, she said she just went to tears because the state police remembered, So I think that's something that, and was that going on before, or was that something administration kicked off?
I think we kicked it off more so. I don't recall it being done as much as it is now, but I think with the superintendent and the new administration really reaching back to the retirees, reaching back to survivors, and really bringing them back to an ISP family atmosphere, I think they've contacted us or me more than I think memory.
Well, it's a ISP thank you for your service event.
Right.
And
they're not forgotten.
Yes, and I think they really appreciate it. And we've had some this year, some 3-digit PE numbers pass away from some gentlemen that have really been around a long time that we want to say thank you to, and that they've done a great job. So, Todd, we're out of time.
All right.
Thank you for being here, buddy.
Thanks.
I appreciate you coming in. Sergeant Todd Harless with the Indiana State Police Protocol Sergeant, giving us a little background on what his job is now that he's back from the military. We want to thank him for his service, what he done here, and thanks for everything that you do.
You're very welcome.
And if you want to catch Todd, it'll be on the YouTube channel put out by Tom Trial, our behind-the-scenes man here for the Indiana State Police. If videographer. We'll catch you next week on the Indiana State Police Roadshow. We want to thank the Indiana State Police Alliance one more time for their continued support, and Cops for Kids, a subsidiary of the Indiana State Police. Catch you next week on the Roadshow. Roadshow out.